Right now, Daniel Dubois is the best heavyweight in the world, including Usyk.
Including Usyk?
I genuinely think that Usyk bamboozled him and caused him trouble and everything else. It'll be interesting to see, because Usyk's just spoken recently. He said, I've only got another couple of fights in me. I wonder will one of them be against... will he be against Dubois? Now, if Dubois...
Well, he said it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He has said that he will take the winner of the Dubois-Parker fight.
MC Geegan's claim that Daniel Dubois is the best heavyweight in the world, even ahead of Usyk, is laughable. Dubois has power, sure, but he lacks the skill and ring intelligence to compete with Usyk's precision and tactical mastery. Let's be real. In their first fight, Usyk made Dubois look like an amateur. It wasn't just a win, it was a dominant performance. Now, Geegan wants to rewrite history, ignoring how Dubois was left searching for excuses, especially after that so-called low blow. Usyk is a technical genius who systematically dismantles opponents, no matter how hard they swing. Dubois, on the other hand, is all hype with little substance. With Usyk hinting that he only has a couple of fights left, Dubois suddenly sees a shot at redemption. But let's be honest. If Usyk grants him a rematch, it'll be another one-sided affair. Dubois won't have excuses to hide behind this time. It's a complete mismatch, and Dubois will be exposed once again. Now, Barry McGuigan...
But Usyk's good at doing that and making people burn more energy than they want to. But yeah, Daniel could do it. You know, he had success in the first fight at times, and I think that confidence might help him get through like the rough patches. But Usyk is a master in the end. His mind's very, very good. But Daniel could definitely do it. But I wouldn't. You know, my pick would always be Usyk.
McGuigan is back, trying to hype Dubois as a real threat to Usyk, but the truth remains. Usyk is simply on another level. Mastery in the ring leaves Dubois with no chance. MC Geegan claims Dubois had success in the first fight, but let's not kid ourselves. Those moments were fleeting and fueled by desperation. Usyk, on the other hand, calmly dismantled Dubois with surgical precision, forcing him to burn energy in ways he never intended. Usyk's greatest weapon isn't just his skill, it's his mind. He outsmarts opponents before they even realize what's happening. Dubois has power, sure, but raw power alone won't take down a tactical genius like Usyk. No matter how much confidence Dubois brings to the table, Usyk remains the king of the heavyweight division. Geegan can doubt Usyk all he wants, but the reality is undeniable. Usyk's reign is built on skill, intelligence, and dominance. Dubois will never be the one to dethrone him. Now the fight everyone...
Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Now this is the interesting one. Daniel Dubois was meant to fight Joseph Parker 2 weeks ago, but he pulled out due to an illness. And all of a sudden, there's rambling, there's words going around, rumors going around that they already signed a deal. That fight is going to take place likely in June at Wembley Stadium.
One has been waiting for. Usyk versus Dubois. But behind the scenes, things have taken an interesting turn. Dubois was set to face Joseph Parker just 2 weeks ago, yet the fight never happened. What really went down? And does Dubois stand any chance against Usyk? Daniel Dubois suddenly pulls out of his fight with Joseph Parker due to an illness, and almost immediately, rumors start swirling. Whispers that Dubois and Usyk have already signed a deal for their own showdown, likely set for June at Wembley Stadium. Funny how that works, right? Dubois avoids Parker, but now he's somehow ready to step into the ring with Usyk. Let's be real. This isn't about fighting the best. It's about picking and choosing. Usyk is the ultimate test, and if this fight happens, don't be fooled by the hype. Usyk will dismantle Dubois with power, skill, and mind games. Dubois doesn't stand a chance. Wembley in June will be yet another masterclass.
Now that you're better, all of a sudden, he wants Usyk. I don't believe he really wanted to fight Joseph Parker in the first place. I think when he beat AJ, it was in his mind already that he wanted Usyk. I don't want that banana peel fight. I might fight somebody and lose, and then I don't get the Usyk fight. And pretty much, this is pussy. This is a bitch-made move. I don't give a fuck. Like I told you.
And Dubois will be left questioning his choices. This latest move reveals Dubois' true colors. He was never serious about fighting Parker. The moment he scraped past AJ, his sights were already locked on Usyk. Avoiding real competition to cash in on a big payday, Dubois sidestepped Parker, knowing full well that Parker was a dangerous matchup. A fight against Parker could have derailed his momentum, exposing him before he even got his shot at Usyk. So, what did Dubois do? He pulled out with a convenient excuse, dodging a real challenge. Now, out of nowhere, he believes he's ready for Usyk? Let's be clear, this isn't about proving he's the best. It's about protecting his ego and his bank account. If Dubois truly believed in himself, he would have stepped up, faced Parker, and earned his shot the hard way. Instead, he took the easy route, expecting greatness without putting in the work. Is Dubois a true contender, or just another overhyped...
Spoke to Frank Warren this week. It looks like we may get Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. We've got a couple of minutes left. This June, potentially at a big stadium.
It's the one.
It's a big fight.
It's the one.
Joseph Parker's hovering there for me as well to fight the winner.
Yeah, listen, Parker deserves to fight the winner, but obviously he should have had the Dubois fight. Didn't happen for whatever the reason. Dubois was ill. Now he's back in the game. But Dubois and Usyk has to be the number one heavyweight title fight.
Fighter avoiding real threats. Frank Warren has made it official. Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois is happening, and it could take place in June at a massive stadium. But here's the real kicker. Why is Dubois even getting this fight? Joseph Parker, a fighter who has already proven himself, is left waiting in the wings, while Dubois, who pulled out of his previous fight due to illness, is now being fast-tracked into a title bout with Usyk. This isn't just a headline-making fight. It's a full-blown controversy. Parker was widely considered the rightful challenger for Usyk, but now, out of nowhere, Dubois is swooping in and stealing the spotlight. What's going on here? Is this fight happening based on merit, or is it just another business move? Once again, boxing politics are flexing their muscles, and fans are left questioning the logic behind it all. Does Dubois actually deserve this shot, or has Parker been robbed yet again by the very...
Dubois is now expected to chase a rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, who holds the WBA, WBC, or WBO and Ring World Heavyweight titles. Dubois' dad, Stan Dubois, briefly spoke to the Ring about his son's future plans and what caused him to pull out of his scheduled fight last week with Joseph Parker. He said, "Next we want Usyk. It's frustrating about the Parker fight, but he couldn't fight with an infection. Usyk is who we're going after next."
System that's supposed to give fighters their fair chance? Meanwhile, Dubois' father, Stan, recently opened up to the Ring about his son's future and the frustration surrounding his withdrawal from the highly anticipated Parker fight due to a viral infection. While missing that fight was a major disappointment, Stan made it clear that the focus has now shifted entirely to Usyk. The heavyweight division is on edge as Dubois prepares for a potential showdown with Usyk, one that could have massive implications for the entire landscape of boxing. Fans are eager to see if Dubois can make a comeback and avenge his previous loss to Usyk. With Usyk holding the undisputed heavyweight title, this upcoming clash has all the makings of a career-defining moment for Dubois and a potential game-changer for the division. But the question remains, can Dubois step up to the challenge and finally take down the dominant Usyk? Or will the heavyweight...
Should it be Dubois or Usyk? Why don't they step up and let him fight? But listen, I don't pay the money. It's not my... it's if they want that, but I don't like that. I think it's wrong. I think Joe should be given he'll get a fight.
Heavyweight king continue his reign. Amid all this, Spencer Brown couldn't hold back his frustration. Fully aware of the underlying politics in play, he voiced his concerns, making it clear that while Parker has more than earned his shot, some figures in the boxing world are deliberately blocking him from getting the fight he deserves. Brown's words echo the questions on every fan's mind. Why are the so-called top names avoiding the real competition? Why is Parker being pushed aside after proving himself in brutal fashion? He pointed out the stark reality that while he isn't the one making financial decisions, the current situation is all about politics. And it stinks. However, Brown remains confident that Parker's big opportunity is inevitable. It has to happen sooner or later. The real question is whether the sport will finally do the right thing
Yeah, I think with Daniel, it's confidence now, and I think it's a mindset thing. He's got a great chin, Daniel. But yeah, that first, it was almost like a tiredness why he got stopped in the first fight. So it expended a lot of energy. But Usyk's good at doing that and making people burn more energy than they want to. But yeah, Daniel could do it. You know, he had success in the first.
Or if corrupt decision makers will once again rob a deserving fighter of his moment. As the fight draws closer, all eyes are on the heavyweight division. With so much on the line, fans are watching closely, knowing the stakes have never been higher. Daniel Dubois' chances in a rematch with Oleksandr Usyk come down to one major factor: a mental shift. Dubois has grown in confidence, and that could be the game changer. Chris Billam-Smith, one of his supporters, praises Dubois' rock-solid chin, emphasizing that it will be crucial against a fighter as skilled as Usyk. Looking back at their first fight, Dubois burned through too much energy early on, which ultimately led to his stoppage. But that wasn't just his own doing. Usyk is a master of draining his opponent's stamina, forcing them to tire out and lose focus. Still, Billam-Smith believes that with a smarter game plan and
Usyk is a master in the end. His mind's very, very good. But Daniel could definitely do it. But I wouldn't. You know, my pick would always be Usyk.
How does he do it?
Just in terms of, he'd have to just stick it on him, and always as the game plan with Usyk is try and use your size. But Daniel's good at, you know, his body shots were good in the first fight. Usyk really doesn't like
better pacing. Dubois could defy the odds and prove Usyk isn't invincible. The real question is whether Dubois can adapt and turn the tide, or if Usyk will once again prove he's simply on another level. Billam-Smith doesn't hesitate to acknowledge Usyk's brilliance, calling his mind razor-sharp and his tactics near-flawless. However, despite Usyk's undeniable skills, he isn't writing off Dubois just yet. While his personal pick leans toward Usyk, he still sees a pathway for Dubois to pull off an upset. For Dubois to win, he must apply relentless pressure on Usyk, never allowing him a moment to breathe. Usyk thrives on his technical brilliance and ability to control the pace, but there's a clear weakness: his vulnerability to body shots. In their first fight, Usyk showed visible discomfort when Dubois targeted that area. Billam-Smith believes this is the key to disrupting Usyk's dominance. If Dubois can land clean, powerful shots to the body and maintain the pressure, it could throw
Dubois Usyk. Why don't they step up and let him fight? But listen, I don't pay the money. It's not my, it's if they want that. But I don't like that. I think it's wrong. I think Joe should be given he'll get a fight.
Usyk off his game. The big question remains: will Dubois' aggression be enough to dethrone the master, or will Usyk once again prove why he's untouchable? Meanwhile, Spencer Brown hasn't held back his frustration, and it's crystal clear why. He sees the dirty politics behind the scenes, and he's not having it. Instead of giving Joseph Parker the shot he has undeniably earned, some figures in the boxing world are prioritizing their own agendas, keeping real challenges out of reach. The question on everyone's mind is, why? Why aren't the so-called top names stepping up to face Parker? Why is he being overlooked after proving himself in brutal fashion? Brown isn't in charge of the financial decisions, but he's not afraid to call it as he sees it. This is all about politics, and it stinks. Parker has done everything required to earn his shot against the best, yet behind-the-scenes dealings continue to block his path. Despite the corruption, Brown is certain that Parker's next major fight is just around the corner. The real issue is whether the sport will finally do the right thing, or if decision-makers will once again rob Parker of what he truly deserves.